Hello everyone and welcome to an episode of One Piece Big News. Today we will be discussing the new Luffy artwork and most importantly the very first effect card. Shoutouts to Jason Larry for dropping the big news as early as possible. Now let's get to it. The Monkey D. Luffy Leader card has effects that align with the Dawn mechanic. Dawn cards essentially being similar to the energy mechanic in Dragon Ball Super card game. However, instead of spending one card from your hand every turn, it looks like you draw from the Dawn deck. A useful feature like this would help keep your hand size up while gaining value. Also, shoutouts to Totsuki for making a beautiful English version of the Leader card. Now, let's talk about the new Leader effects. Main effect, Dawn -3, once per turn. Release 3 times Dawn cards back to the Dawn deck for the rest of this turn, plus 5,000 power to this card. Now if you've played Dragon Ball as much as I have, you'd know this effect would sound downright terrible. Sacrificing 3 energy for a mere power buff sounds absolutely ludicrous. Well, this may not be the case. An effect like this would sound terrible in Dragon Ball, where we have access to counters, negates, Zamasu. Keep in mind, however, that this is set 1. We may not have access to that for quite some time. We may never have access to some of those things. Digimon card game is a great example of this. A game where there is barely any opposing interaction other than blockers and very few negates. A game state where you can understand what you can and can't do without any surprise mechanics constantly shifting the flow of the game. In other words, Digimon is chess where Dragon Ball is chess, but my opponent just bounced my queen. But I digress. If the game state was set where you would be able to make uninterrupted plays, then this effect would become almost a necessity for a game-winning strike. Now, let's talk about Luffy's second effect. Main effect, once per turn. Give one of your character or leader cards one rested Dawn card. If I'm correct, this effect is more powerful than you think. Most of the time in Dragon Ball, a rested energy is a dead energy. Once you've rested your energy, you won't gain access to it until the next turn, unless you're playing blue shenanigans. So being able to target a rested energy for buffs is incredibly useful. I was trying to come up with some downsides to this effect, and it brought up an interesting question. This main effect specifically targets rested Dawns. Therefore, you would have to play a card and rest that Dawn before targeting. However, if the Dawn mechanic is what the community believes, being a resource to tap for plays or a raw 1000 buff, at what point are you able to use that buff? Is it only during a combat phase, or are they treated as main effects as well? If that's the case, then this effect can be activated every turn without any complications. Simply rest your Dawn and target your leader for a 1k buff, then activate your leader card to target the now rested Dawn for another 1k buff, therefore guaranteeing a 6,000 Luffy every turn. Of course, this is just speculation, but I'm eager to see more effects in the nearby future. Now let's talk about the absolutely beautiful Luffy card. It's pretty good. Now there's an interesting point Azraf D. Chaz has brought up in his video. Also, if you're not subscribed to him, well, what are you waiting for? Now then, Azraf points out that the Dawn cards are separate artworks from specific points of the manga, where you can mix and match them any way you would like to enjoy your personalized Dawn deck. I think that is not only awesome but unique as well. A brilliant idea to show how you're a fan of One Piece. However, I believe there is a hidden mechanic here, a mechanic almost game-changing. I believe the Dawn deck can have Dawn cards containing higher numbers than 1000. Now, what does this mean? It means the Dawn deck would be face down and shuffled. Then, when you draw a Dawn card, it can have a number between, let's say, 1000 to 5000. This could change how we play the game every single time. If we draw a card near 1000, we may want to use our Dawn to summon units. However, if it's more of the 5000 range, we may want to go into the offensive. Also, if we reference Luffy's effect, targeting a rested Dawn of 5000 would be absolutely terrifying. Now today I'm going to do something a bit different. I created a couple proxy cards so I can show you the type of gameplay I think we are going to have. Here are 7 proxy Dawn cards of differentiating value. We'll get to this soon. I also drew up 3 specific Dawn cards of moments that were my favorite in the series. The first moment is going to be Sanji and Nami swapping bodies due to the powers of Trafalgar Law. We rarely get to see Sanji with the ability to enjoy the loving embrace of a woman, so it really brought a tear to my eye seeing Sanji enjoying his newfound abilities. My next favorite moment would be practically any scene that contains Bon Clay. One of my favorite movies of all time is Cable Guy, and when I was notified One Piece would have a homosexual Jim Carrey, I started watching immediately. Now for this next card, I admit I was in a rush to complete this proxy, so I do apologize for my sloppiness. My final favorite moment is Frankie Nipple Lights. Being able to shine through the darkness at a moment's notice. Frankie's body has ascended to a point where mere humanity could not comprehend. And of course, we can't forget the leader card. I went all out to replicate the likeness of the original leader. I even added the slogan. Definitely a nice touch there. Okay, so for the rest of this, I'm gonna use my regular voice because my throat hurts. So let's talk about how I think the game would work. Essentially, you'll have your finna be King Luffy over here. You'll shuffle the Dawn deck, and then you would essentially draw 1 per turn. Now you see I got lucky and I drew the 4000 one. So now I probably would want to be on the offensive. It is turn 1, so probably like in Dragon Ball, I won't be able to do anything as in attacking with my leader. However, I could play a unit. I did also draw this, probably one of my better drawings. This is the new Luffy artwork, and it actually has an effect that I thought would be very useful compared to the leader's effect. That actually goes well with the leader. And so let's say we're already past turn 2. So I didn't get so lucky. I drew the 2001, and now they go, and then we go to turn 3. So 3000. So essentially what this card would do is you would tap the 3, you would play it, and then now while it's on the board, if I ever choose to release 3 Dawn, I would return 2. Very similar to the Goku from Dragon Ball Super card game. So then I would use my leader effect to target, let's say the 4000 Dawn, apply it to either 1, and then I'll use the second leader effect to pitch the 3. Now it gains 5000, and then this effect would pop off to gain 2 more. Now I would assume it would be when it gets put to the deck, we would return 2 and it would come back unrested, which means you can make even more plays. However, you are risking getting lower numbers when you draw from the Dawn deck. So we're going to grab 2, and we got the GOAT himself at 1000. That's unfortunate. And we have another 1000. So you see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You do get 2 sources back, which is definitely keeps you in the game, but now they were reduced to 1000s. And for the final thing I wanted to talk about in terms of the different numbers, I made sure that out of the 10 cards, it would equal 20,000 in total. I feel like this is something that they may implement where you get to mix and match whatever numbers you'd like, but it must be 10 cards and it must equal to around 20,000. So let's say we have this 4,000 one. See how I only have one of the 4,000 ones? I can probably bump this one up to 5,000, but then I'd have to reduce this one to 1,000. So now I have 5 chances that I could be drawing a 1001. I think this type of mechanic would be insane for the game. Let me know what you think. Give me 1 second to go back into the voice. Now, if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Hello everyone, and welcome to an episode of One Piece Big News. Today we'll be